I will say also on Thanksgiving, just going back to Thanksgiving itself, that was also the first time Thanksgiving was the first time I ever drank like a beer ever. Obviously, it was accidental.
I remember you telling me about that one. I just love. What was your first initial reaction when you tasted it? Was it one of those where like, like the moment you taste, you're like,
Yes,
that's
yes,
not right.
because so backstory just may have I think I've told this story before on this. I think when I was ranting about the dumb tweet about beer. Um,
That's what it
but
was.
so it was Thanksgiving time, and I don't know if you know this. You probably won't know this because you don't know my family, but we are, drinkers. So we'll have beers and everything. And when we drink, some people will drink out of the bottle or whatever, but we really don't do bottles. We'll usually do red solo cups or something like that. And because of that, I was also drinking because back then, for some reason, I wasn't drinking sodas out of a can. I was drinking them out of a red solo cup.
Got it.
I was drinking a root beer, I believe. Um,
That would make the most sense.
and somehow I lost my drink or whatever because I think I just got up to go pee or talk to some aunt or cousin or something. And I went back to my table, and it's one of those things where you see like two like red solo cups, and they look the same.
It's more so you
One's
see like five red solo cups and look the
yeah,
same.
right.
Like
And
I
like
great question.
I don't know which one this is, and it didn't put a name or anything to indicate this is mine. I was
Yeah.
like, this looks close to it. It has the same colors. I didn't want to, go smell it because that would have given it away immediately. Oh, this is beer. But naive 11-year-old me, I think I was around 11, 10, somewhere around there. I was like, this is probably it. You got to taste like this isn't it. This is beer, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, I love it.
I still don't know where that drink went. I think someone just ended up throwing it out or took it. So I had to go
By
and then
by
I had to kind of
2000
go back to the
by
fridge and get
November
myself another one.
2022, I would certainly hope so.
Yeah. But now my drink of choice, because I know you're all wondering it, since now I am of age and can drink. If it's not beer, one thing I'll go to because tis the season. I go cider and Fireball.
Oh, that's a good choice. I would say
That
that's a
is,
great question. Like, kind of like, what's a very good? I haven't had that in quite a while, but then that's a good, very good fall-esque
yeah,
drink. I would have to look some up. Like, I feel like now is also the time where it's a good time for like old fashions and also
it's always a good time for
uh
old fashions, even if you go
yeah,
out to Colorado with friends
and
and everyone else is
or
drinking beers.
or Manhattans.
Yes.
So yeah, but no, true. But no, so like besides that, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, but no, it's my kind of drink, especially around Christmas time, is Kahlua with like some milk and
Yeah,
everything, and
Kahlua. Yeah, Kahlua is
yep,
good. Bailey's.
Bailey's and hot chocolate, Bailey's
Mm-hmm.
just in general. Yeah, so those are like more so those, but
Yeah.
kind of like what you're referring to. I don't
See,
know
for
actually.
me,
I don't.
because I'm one of those people that don't celebrate Christmas early or too early.
Thank
Um,
you.
so because people are like bring like because now everywhere you go it's Christmas or whatever. So if you go
It's
to the grocery store, they got
ridiculous.
the eggnog stuff out, and you got all this and everything. Like I'm not drinking eggnog yet. I'm not doing
Are
fall
you a
winter
fan of
drinks yet.
eggnog?
So.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on the mood I'm in.
Danny, you over in the other room. Eggnog is delicious. No, I believe it's delicious. I like this. I don't know why. I'm so sorry. I think the one year her dad made it, and it was very good because he
Yeah.
makes it
Was it spiked
amazingly.
or non-spiked?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So he made it great. But I'm kind of so on it. But it's funny you mentioned the whole
Because
yeah
I'm not doing winter drinks yet because it's not technically winter yet because winter
yeah
isn't
no no,
until
no I like
December.
that. It's
So
still fall.
it's still technically fall.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving is a fall holiday, so I'm still doing fall drinks and cider
I
and
would say,
fireball
yeah, I would
is
say
up
definitely
night.
something, anything with cider or like one thing that we like to do is put heat up cider in like the crock pot or something
Yeah,
like that, and
that's
then
always good.
mix in something whether it's Fireball or who knows. But
Yeah.
no, I'm glad you
Or
mentioned
that's just
the whole
outside of like
yeah
a just a simple just I'm just gonna
yeah
grab this beer and have that kind of thing.
exactly
Now.
yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Jeffrey, do you got any Thanksgiving stories from your
I got a
youth or
few
anything?
that I can think of. Is like one of the things that comes to mind right away when my brothers and I were younger and our cousins, we would always have it at my aunt and uncle's house. And well, it's not really a story, but it's like one of those things. It became our tradition very quickly. It was always after Thanksgiving. I don't think any other holiday that we would really celebrate and then do this for is after we ate and everything and had a good time. In between dinner and dessert, we would play manhunt, and there would be like
Uh,
15 or 20 of us all playing. So it was a massive group having huge teams on both sides, and it was awesome. And we did this tradition for years and years and years, and everything. And so that was always one of my by far favorite, more so Thanksgiving traditions. And it's an unusual one, but it's something that our family did every year. And
yeah.
and we still always talk about how we used to the cousins and us. We would always play Thanksgiving manhunt. So then that was always fun. Actual story wise, this is at my parents' house. We had everyone over on my dad's side of the family, and plus some members of my mom's side of the family, and we even had it's like a huge Thanksgiving when because we have family out in Pittsburgh and there's what 5 or 6 of them. Now there's like 10 or 12 of them in total because spouses and also kids and everything now. So on their side of the family, but
They're
they're
turning to
over
the
the one
dark side. I understand.
exactly. They're over the one time, and I can't remember who started. Someone did something at one end of the table because again we had like 20 people, we 25 people or so. We had one end of the table, all the adults, and the further you got down, it was more the cousins and all the kids and everything. And my cousin, he was waving down at the one. So somehow somebody knocked over a candle and everything, of course. And like that was a huge crapshoot. People spilled wine here and there, and then I can't remember how it got started, but my cousin John had bet me. I think it was like $5 or something like that. Because we're having fun playing paper football before dinner and everything. And I looked at him. He looked at me. He just yells from the down table. Goes, Jeff, I'll give you $5 if you can kick the field goal. Or no, it was like for $1 or something like that. And then so I make the field goal. He gives me $1, and then he goes, I'll one up you because now that the candle is out, because it was one of those like it was one of those candles where it was almost like in like the
Mhm.
vases or anything like that. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was like one of those weird decorative ones. And he goes, I'll give you $5 if I move this all the way down my end of the table and you make it into the candle holder and everything. And sure enough, everyone's like, "Oh no, you're not going to make it." And so some people are like, "Hey, I don't know, that was a pretty good kick last time." And so like it got silent, and then someone started doing like the kickoff drumming and everything, and everyone's tapping on the table, kick it, and sure enough, goes sinks the shot, and I just start running around as if like I won like the super like the paper football Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Just
Jeffrey,
so
Jeffrey,
yeah,
Jeffrey, 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 Jeffrey,
yeah.
Jeffrey. I believe it's called hate ball for how much Angela hates it.
Sorry, my bad. Of course, how can we say silly? Hate
Yeah.
ball. Of course, it's
We
hate
just
ball.
call it hate ball. Why? Because how much Angela hates it.
And drink. Oh man, so that's one of my more favorites. One of the crazier ones we had. One of the last times we had Thanksgiving at my parents'
Wait,
house.
hold on. Sorry, before we get to
Yeah,
it, did he give you the $5?
he did. Oh yeah,
Okay,
no,
cool.
I made sure to be
He was a man
on
of
the
his word.
spot
Okay,
too.
we got
He
it.
was a man of his
We
word
good.
on the spot. The $5. So no, that was one of the best paper football shots I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to do that again this year. We'll see. And there's Poppy. Um, one of the other, this one, it was a more unfortunate story. Almost happened is a couple years ago we had Thanksgiving with my parents again, and this time we didn't almost didn't have a Thanksgiving dinner. The day before, it was super windy out, and we had lost power. We didn't have power the rest of the afternoon, rest of the night, into Thanksgiving morning. And by the time that my mom had to start cooking the turkey in the oven, had to have been in no later than 10:15, 10:30 to be ready by the afternoon. I think we were like 15 minutes before. we were supposed to have the turkey, and the power finally came back on, and because my dad was getting ready to light up the grill, but I don't think there was like propane in the tank or anything like that. So he's getting ready to run. I said, "Well, I'll grab propane and everything." So it was a whole crapshoot. But so we almost didn't have a turkey the other year for Thanksgiving.
Ouch.
So, and that was
Yeah.
one of the more crazy ones.
Yeah, I don't really have any crazy stories. The only tradition, if we're going back to what you started
Yeah.
your thing with, is my one uncle, who unfortunately is not coming this year for some reason, um, would every year come very early and he'll make shrimp as like an appetizer. Just have a
Oh,
giant crock
really?
pot and just, yeah, the smell
Nice.
of garlic and Old Bay.
Thanksgiving
It's,
shrimp. That's a
yeah.
new one.
Mm-hmm. And it's not football. Occasionally, we would play football with like the cousins and some uncles and stuff like that, aunts and uncles. But
Yeah.
one thing we would always kind of do is it wasn't football, it was tennis baseball. That was our kind of thing.
Nice.
Because why would you play football? What should people think about on Thanksgiving? Why not play tennis baseball instead? Because we got, plates and everything. So every once in a while, there was years ago, we don't really do this as much
Yeah.
was we just go out. Normally with neighbors, we go out and play tennis baseball.
That's awesome.
The only no crazy stories, but one of the better Thanksgivings actually came back a couple years ago, so early pandemic. Um, so yeah, it must have been 2020, so it was because it wasn't last year, and Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet. So yeah, it had to been 2020.
Yeah.
Um, and unfortunately, we kind of did two Thanksgivings. So unfortunately, my sister
A
had to
lot of
work.
people did do that.
So unfortunately, my sister had to actually work on Thanksgiving itself.
Yeah.
So they weren't able to join us that year, really, for Thanksgiving itself. So they came
Right.
up the weekend before. And when they did that, we just did our own kind of. Actually, no, we only did one Thanksgiving that year. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, then what we did was it was just us, me, my siblings, just uh, having a just Thanksgiving ourselves
Yeah.
and the weekend before. So that's kind of one Thanksgiving I kind of liked. It was a smaller one and just us. I just
It
did it
was
like that.
more like low key, and those are sometimes
Yeah,
honestly the best because it's like the ones where it gets super crowded. Sure, it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of noise, a lot of people to talk to. Is you don't get to
yeah,
talk to everybody because the table is so big. It's like you basically talk in little sections, and then by the time the dessert rolls around, half the people switch tables. So that way, like if you're on this side for half the night, you go to that side. You have
yeah,
three people
exactly.
on
It
each
was
side
it was a
switch.
simple
It gets
one.
annoying.
Yeah, it was just kind of a simpler one. So it was just that. And then
Yeah,
Thanksgiving itself that day, we went over to my grandma's for a fire and we just had desserts. That's what we did
nice.
on Thanksgiving itself because
There you
it
go.
was still middle of the pandemic and they weren't really doing,
Yeah.
gathering or anything like that for
Right. No,
Thanksgiving.
I get that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm really excited for Thanksgiving.